Welcome into the first Coosa Christian Coaches Show that we're going to be filming each and every week with Coach Marco Bryant, head coach of the Coosa Christian Conquerors. And we want to thank Kia of Gadsden for sponsoring this show and many others. And those guys do a fantastic job. If you guys are in need of a new car or looking to trade yours in and an upgrade, there's a great group of guys over there who will take care of you. Go see those guys at Kia of Gadsden anytime, anywhere. Coach, they'll take them all in, brother.
Absolutely.
Coach, we're going to start this coaching show off a little different. You know, we've asked you 100 questions. You've been interviewed all summer about since the time you got here to now, but we're going to dive straight into this season. And last week you were fortunate enough to host two very good football teams in Handley and Pell City, two legendary coaches. How special was it to get those two legendary coaches to bring their teams to Coosa Christian?
That's really cool, Bo. To have those guys at Coosa, I mean, 3 years ago, you couldn't have got, you could have got a knockoff team, but you sure wouldn't get no high-end team.
Yeah.
And so it's transformed quite a bit, and we got a long way to go for sure, but it was really cool to have Rush and Coach Strain to be a part of what we had going on Thursday.
Now, you know, you look on paper and you see a 1A team versus a 4A powerhouse, perennial powerhouse, and a 6A team, albeit they've been down over the last few years. Definitely going to be on the rise with Coach Probst there, but you definitely got a good look and you got some good film to watch, and it maybe brought some of the guys that thought they were a little better than they are back down to earth. But from the film you have seen, what did you see from the guys?
Believe it or not, surprisingly, I thought we performed above my expectation. I didn't think we would perform to the level we did, so I was pleasantly surprised, to be honest with you. Now, that's not to say everything went good. We still got a lot to clean up. But I was really happy with what we did on Thursday.
Starting on the offensive side of the football, you had some bright spots there. Who were some of the guys that stepped out and looked good for you on film?
I think the Hester kid did really well. I think Dylan East did very well up front.
He looks better.
He does
more fit. Looks good.
He does. And, of course, Eli played very well offensively as well. I think that's just to name a few.
Let's flip that thing around defensively and tell us what you've seen on the film from there.
I thought the defensive front played a lot better than I anticipated. I was really worried going into this deal if our defensive front could withstand, because we're a three-man front team, and so I didn't know if we had the guys up front to do it. And, of course, linebacker play was really good. The Mickler kid was really, really good. Cleat looked really good. And, the thing was, this is, I think, the best thing. We did two things defensively I thought that was really good. We put Handley and Pell City both in third and long situations multiple times. And neither one of them, Pell City nor Handley, went over the top on our shell, which is the secondary, which is a great surprise to me. I didn't know if we had the speed to be able to stop that, and we did.
Coach, you got an eighth grader starting back there in that secondary. It's funny you mentioned that. He's not a normal eighth grader. This guy's on a track star on a national level. Talk about Kylan a little bit and what led into him starting in your secondary.
Well, I mean, Kylan's just a unique talent. He can be as good as he ever wants to be. He's just got to stay focused. He's going to have to grow a little more. But just athletically speaking, he's as talented as the kids I've ever been around.
Yeah. That's funny. You got good senior leadership there and Dupree and some of those other guys, but then you flip around, you got an eighth grader, so it's a unique situation you have in that secondary. So I can honestly see why you were kind of scared that they could possibly go over the top. Going into this week, it's a unique week because you guys are basically having a turnaround. Normally would be a short week, but you played on Thursday last week.
That's right.
How much different has this week is this week going to look heading into another Thursday night?
I mean, I don't think it changes what we're doing just off the schedule that I'm running off of, which I think is very unique, this practice schedule. And Rush had a big input on that for sure. And so I don't think I really, really like the schedule we're doing. Okay, it's probably the biggest change I've ever made on the schedule ever coaching, and so I don't think playing on Thursday affects us at all.
I know Rush talks about the importance of Sunday.
Yeah.
Sunday is your Monday.
Yep.
And so it puts you ahead of the 8 ball, so
Yep.
to speak, than behind, which is it's a unique. He's always cutting edge, always has been. But for those who don't know, talk about how Sunday in between church services looks for you guys.
Yeah, so in us playing on Thursday, so what we did was, you're right, Sundays are Monday. All right, so Mondays are Tuesday, Tuesdays are Wednesday, and so when we get to we play on Thursday, but when we get to Tuesday, practice is done at that point. You're really, really, really light at that point, and you're giving these kids 48 hours to get their bodies right, which is very unique, okay? Because, a lot of times you'll do walkthroughs the day before, and you may be out there an hour and a half, 2 hours, where you're still gassing them, okay? And so we're doing something completely different from that.
Unique. It's cutting edge, and definitely going to see it played off. Conditioning, I thought, looked good the other night in that game. Let's talk about this week's opponent, because when you talk about a class act from head coach down, players, community, Geraldine comes to mind. Coach Michael Davis is one of your good friends, one of my good friends. Can't say enough good things about them. You know the challenges in front of you, but for those who don't, talk about Geraldine a little bit.
Yeah, they're really, really good, and they've got a shot to win 3A North, okay? I personally think it's going to either be them or, just my own personal opinion, it's going to either be them or Sylvania. I think it's going to represent the North. I may be wrong, but Michael does an unbelievable job. He's an unbelievable human being. I think the world of him, and he's a really, really fine football coach. And those kids play their guts out. They're very physical. Okay, they're not nearly as talented as that Hanley team we saw, but they're very, very physical. And so, it's just going to be a challenge to be in the game with them, to be honest with you.
Coach, when you see a Michael Davis coach football team, he does a really good job at hitting you inside, but he's also got guys like Carlos Mann that can take it, to the house and the edge. Talk about some of the problems they present you defensively.
Yeah, because of that running back, Carlos Mann. He's a really good player. He'll run you jet sweeps and things of that nature. Then you've got that quarterback who can launch it, and not only can he launch it, he likes to run it too. So you're attacking really all three areas of the field. You're attacking the lateral position, you're attacking the vertical position, and then you're attacking the middle of the field position, which makes it really, really spreads the defense out thin. It's a numbers game, is what it is. And and they're balanced on all three fronts on that deal. So you gotta be on your P's and Q's.
Yeah, Jackson Cobbin, the quarterback you're talking about, he only weighs about 230 and about 6'4".
Yeah, he's a big boy.
Now, offensively, they present again. They have a very solid defense as well. They have a lot of movement. They're strong up the middle. Obviously, they have to be in the region that they play in. Talk about what their defense and some of the problems that they present for your offense.
Well, what they want to do just by their front, they want to take care of the run. They want to take it away, and so they're going to load the box, okay, and they're going to give you a variety of stunts and blitzes and things of that nature, and they're trying to take that run away, and then they're going to get up. Those overhang linebackers are going to get up on you to take away all your short game from your slot position. All right, and then what they do on the outside stuff, they get in a cover 3 look, so those corners are belling. So they're giving you hitches on the X and the Z, which are the two wideouts, okay? But they're taking away everything inside the box. That's what they're doing. And so you've got to be patient. You've got to be able to hitch them, and then hopefully you can get throw over the top, and then you hope that they'll reduce some of that defensive front, maybe to a 4-man front, so it can open up some running lanes.
And let's talk about the other X factor, as it always is in football games, is going to be your kicking game. Mm-hmm. Luckily, you have one of the most steady kickers in the state of Alabama, both punting and place kicking. But let's talk about what you want to see execution-wise from your special teams.
Well, I want to see us not give up a big play. I want to see us punt the ball well. Geraldine's got a great kicker now. He's going
Yeah, he's
to
very
hit in the end zone. So everything is going to be touchback with him. So that they're going to be able to match our special teams play. Okay, but we just can't let them get ahead of our special teams play. All right, and so normally we go into a game and we got a big advantage on the special teams. Well, I don't think it's the case this week because their special teams kicker is as good as our special teams kicker. So it's going to be a challenge for sure.
And lastly, Coach, with travel and everything, for those who are coming up to the game, this is going to be Thursday, 7 o'clock at Geraldine. People still getting tickets online. And what any special things you need to tell the Conqueror crowd or any of the people who may be traveling from Gadsden up there?
No, just be safe. Enjoy the night. It's going to be hot. So make sure you hydrate your body up really well for all the fans because I believe their bleachers are aluminum.
They are.
They are, and so that's nothing but a dang. That's like sitting in a sauna sitting on the bleachers. So
yeah, it's pretty warm.
Yep, I'd make sure you bring some water with you and hydrate your body up because it's going to be hot.
And if you have not ever been to a game at Geraldine, it's a very special place, and I'm going to highly recommend you get there early because big crowds like this one's going to be opening night at their place. Parking's going to be extra difficult because it's going to be slam packed. Anything else from you today? This week, Coach?
No. I appreciate everything y'all do, Bo.
Appreciate you, Kia of Gadsden, as well, for jumping in here and sponsoring this show and many others. And that's all we have for this week, the Coosa Christian Football Preview Show, and we will be back next week at the same time. Thank you.